around the Moyale OSBP. Good afternoon, Noah.
Good afternoon to you, Brian. We are actually in Moyale. It's pretty cold for Moyale. In fact, I had a scarf right there, but I can't put it on air, you understand. But right here, we are at the Moyale one-stop border post. Last year, December, we saw President Uhuru Kenyatta, the Ethiopia Prime Minister, officially commissioning this particular border post, and the whole point is to increase and synergize trade between Kenya and Ethiopia. I mean, look at Kenya, we have 50 million people. Look at Ethiopia, 115 million people. Collectively, that is a huge market, rather, with a lot of potential. So the question is, how do we make sure there is ease of movement of goods and people between two countries? That's why we have this particular one-stop border post to make it a little bit easy for Kenyans. Now, I want to bring in a specialist who manages this particular border post. But before I do, from the background, it's a little bit not so busy. And it's not because of the weather. It's because of some of the external issues that we might touch on later on in our interview. But at this particular moment, I'm joined by Mr. Joel Ndege, who is the station manager of Moyale OSBP. Thank you very much, sir, for joining us. First of all, I mean, it's almost close to a year. Yeah, since the official opening of the border. What progress have we made in terms of movement of goods and people across both countries?
Thank you. We have seen increased trade volumes. We've seen increased ease of doing business because of the one-stop border post, in that the traders are only required to make one stop in the country of arrival, where in the importing country. And this reduces the amount of time that is used, and this also translates into cheaper ways of doing business. Yes.
That is quite critical. Actually, looking at the discussions we've had, that was yesterday and today, majority of traders here are smallholder traders, small-scale traders. I mean, people operating both Moyales. We have the Ethiopian Moyale and Kenyan Moyale. For Kenya, we have a framework to ease the small-scale trader operation. For Ethiopia, is it the same? And what is being done to make sure that it's easy for small-scale traders to do business across the border?
Thank you for that question. For Kenya, we have the COMESA simplified trade regime, where we are able to do direct assessments on goods that are brought by small-scale traders. Ethiopia is currently working on a framework to support the small-scale traders. The protocol is at an advanced stage, and once this is complete, it's going to make it very easy for the small-scale traders to do business across the border.
And we've seen, actually, this is the only official border between Kenya and Ethiopia, which we also see another challenge coming in of porous borders. How prevalent is this situation? What are you doing to tackle the issue of porous borders?
Currently, the government of Kenya is in the process of gazetting more crossing points, and for the places around near Moyale, we are sensitizing traders on the importance of doing trade through the gazetted route to ensure security and the quality of the goods that they are bringing in, and also to pay the requisite revenues to support the government.
I mean, Ethiopia and Kenyan border is quite lengthy, sincerely. Are there plans to make sure we gazette more border points other than the Moyale OSBP point?
Yes, there are plans to gazette more border posts in Ramu, Malkamari, and I think there are about five new border posts coming at the various stages of being gazetted to become crossing points.
Definitely. And actually, when we were in Kenya, we were taking a look at, where you store some of these captured goods that go through the porous border. And we have a lot of fuel, apparently, from Ethiopia coming through. What is necessitating this, and is there an incentive to stop this particular situation?
Yeah, certainly. Fuel is one of the most prevalent smuggled goods across the border. And this is necessitated because petroleum products is one of the common smuggled goods across the Kenyan border and Ethiopia border, because there is a big price difference between for the product between the two countries, and this is what is giving the smugglers an incentive to bring petroleum products from Ethiopia to Kenya. We are vigilant and we're working on it. Also, we are also doing outreach programs to educate the wananchi on the dangers of this. And our teams are out on patrol, and we are arresting those who are doing this vice, and we expect to stamp it out.
Definitely. And finishing up, I mean, when you hear, I'm coming to Moyale OSBP, you expect a lot of activity, a lot of movement, lots of trucks. It's pretty chilled. Is this a seasonal thing? What exactly is happening? We are not seeing much traffic coming in and out. What might be causing this?
Most of the goods that we deal with at Moyale are actually agricultural goods, and as you realize, these are seasonal goods. So there is a season for tomatoes, there is a season for onions, there is a season for beans, and as such, currently I think there is not much activity because it's not the season for any of those products. However, we are doing quite a lot of imports from Moyale, from Ethiopia, from empty beer bottles, and we also exporting a lot of soda ash and utensils from Kenya to Ethiopia.
Yeah. With that said, thank you very much. I really appreciate for your time. But that is the situation that you have here at the Moyale OSBP. The big discussion is about frameworks, especially when it comes to operationalize small traders. These are people, I mean, you're going to Ethiopia, you're getting 10, 15 bags, 100 bags of beans, and you want to get, to cross the border with that. Is there a framework that is easier? From the Ethiopian side, they're saying they're working on that, but from the Kenyan side, that is pretty easy. So it's a work in progress, so to say. But earlier on, we had a chat with one of the traders who has a farm, actually is operating from Ethiopia and sells products all the way to Uganda. Yeah, that is quite interesting, quite imagine. There is plenty of market to cover, and this is what he had to say.
So now today, we are getting a clearance from here. After getting a clearance, we shall begin our journey, maybe at 2, we proceed to Malaba border.
Okay.
Yeah.
So basically, how long does it take here at the border, those processes, once you arrive? How long does it take before you get all the clearances to move forward?
The first route, it was hard, as you know, the beginning, because they didn't know the procedure, how the eggs can move in Ethiopia, they enter in Kenya, via to Kampala. That was the big question. Now, as we continue working, they are beginning when they are, how can I talk about? They have started the situation, but these eggs are eggs, because even some person can doubt, is that really eggs, a mere eggs? But now they are eggs, and down the outside they have realized. Okay, now some of them, like a customs officer and whatever, when they know that the truck of eggs, because we are faster than them, we reached here yesterday at evening. Some of them, they can see that that truck is Uzima chicken. They have come to pick eggs. Now they understand that that is usual, that's normal. Another thing, that truck has entered. Now they know that the truck has brought what? Eggs. Now we are going to ship it to our truck. After shipping, they proceed the paper. After giving the paper, and even I will be going in Kampala.
Well, Brian, so the whole discussion is about making it easier. One-stop border post is stopping, and within the same building you get your approvals from both sides of the government. I mean, from both sides of the border, that is the Ethiopian border and the Kenyan border. And we have 2 stations, one in Kenya and one in Ethiopia, just to facilitate that and make it easy to do business. But right here in Moyale, the weather has really surprised us. It's a little bit cold. Maybe that's the season for it. But that notwithstanding, the issue is also in Ethiopia, we are having sort of a lockdown across all borders. So there's no also much activities coming from Ethiopia because of the instituted lockdowns across all borders in the country in regards to matters COVID-19. But as we stay here, of course, we'll take a look at what economic impact some of these moves are having in the local economy. With that said, over to you, Brian.
Many thanks, my colleague Noah Kipkemboi, coming to us live from Moyale in northern Kenya. We are due for a break. But when we come back, Vivian Wandera has Women in Business on the Thursday weekly themed features right here on Business Today. You only get such on Business Today. So do stay with us. We still have a lot more lined up for you after the break.